despite a sabotaged album release along with major competition from the Super Bowl halftime headliner and also one of the most powerful names in all of music. Kanye West and his new album Vultures has officially become the most popular thing in the music world, and in a time where everything was set up for Ye to fail. What this means for the music industry may end up changing it forever. Now, as Kanye and Ty Dolla Sign's collab album Vultures 1 sold 148,000 copies in one of the most competitive weeks for the music industry in quite some time, between the stage he was on and all of the promotion and press he got from streaming platforms, brands, and the Super Bowl itself, everything was set up this week for Usher to make his grand return to the spotlight with his new album coming home, and despite having the biggest marketing machine that a musical artist can have behind him, Usher didn't even come close to rivaling Kanye in his new album. This is even crazier when you consider that Apple funded the halftime show and did absolutely everything in their power to promote his new record and push it for Super Bowl weekend, and while Usher got maybe the most promotion we have ever seen from a streaming platform, Kanye got absolutely nothing. Now, Ye didn't just receive zero promotion from Apple, but he was even deleted and removed from the charts on both Apple Music and iTunes not once, but twice, and despite these major setbacks, Vultures has stood as the biggest album in the world, and this is scaring major labels and streaming platforms as it could change the music industry forever. Now, the reason why this record is putting fear into the industry is because Vultures 1 is an entirely independent album, meaning that no part of the music industry has any control or stake in it, and while independent artists and albums are nothing new, having one of the most popular artists in the world being free of all label control and still seeing the highest sales debut of 2024 goes against everything that the music industry's business model works so hard to control artists with. Now, while it seems like at this point people either love or hate Kanye West, no matter how you feel about him personally, it's more important than ever to understand how such a monumental moment in music is about to turn the tides for all artists and, in the greater sense, impact the industry in ways that we have never seen before. So with Vultures, labels are terrified right now of what Kanye has done because it proves that at the end of the day, an artist can very well become more powerful than the machine that tries to control them. What I find most infatuating about the release of Vultures is that at every single corner possible, there was something right in Ye's way trying to plunder the success of the album, and despite all the obstacles it faced, the record managed to overcome everything and rise on top. We were really at the point where Kanye's own ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, was promoting Usher and his new album over the record with her own daughter featured on it, and this didn't do a thing to harm Ye. It's absolutely maddening because from Kim Kardashian all the way to the Super Bowl, everything was set up in a way that would have blocked Kanye West from getting any word out that he even had a new album, and by doing this, somehow it only ended up making him more successful. Whether this was little things like not showing Kanye on the celebrity cam at the Super Bowl and then the media trying to label him as an outcast at the game after the fact, or more significant setbacks like Apple Music cleansing Vultures 1 and its chart data multiple times this week. Everything that was done to keep Kanye out of the limelight only put more eyes on him, to the point where he now has the highest first week sales of an independent album ever, even with no promotion or radio play. Kanye's track with Rich the Kid and Playboi Carti, Carnival, was able to stay on top of the charts over Beyonce and her new single that dropped on Super Bowl Sunday with an entire ad, Texas Hold'em, which speaks even more volumes to the type of impact Kanye is making, as he's outperforming who many would call arguably the biggest star in all of music. So with Kanye taking on Usher and Beyonce on top of being blacklisted and defeating all the odds, the music industry is horrified because for once an artist has shown them that they are not indispensable. With all the marketing dollars thrown at uplifting Usher and leveraging the Super Bowl to push his grand comeback as they tried to get him his first #1 album in over a decade, along with wanting Beyonce to sweep the Billboard Hot 100 and earn an easy #1 hit with her song that was part of a joint ad with Verizon. All of this was thrown out of the window by Kanye West, and many artists are taking notice of just how successful he's been able to be on his own. Now, despite all of the backlash and even lawsuits that Ye has seen since dropping Vultures, this album is already shaping up to be one of Ye's more successful ventures simply because of one thing only: ownership. Where before, Kanye would sink so much money into building experiences around albums like Donda and The Life of Pablo and never actually reaped the rewards as labels took their cuts of the records once they were released on digital streaming platforms, with Vultures, Kanye is handling all the business himself. While this definitely adds a heavy degree of risk that Ye never had before, it's already shown to be quite successful for him, as between the record itself and the ecosystem of experiences and products that he's built around it, Kanye is showing that artists do not necessarily need labels to find success, and that all they actually need is to bet on themselves. Whether you love or hate Kanye, he is paving the way to demonstrate that artists don't need massive marketing budgets to announce the release of a new single or an entire halftime show to push an album, but in actuality, all artists need to do is empower their fans and deliver an experience that they can't resist. While Kanye is doing this on a scale that only somebody of his size and creative prowess could, he's made this era of his career so infatuating for fans, as he's popping up all around the world doing concerts and listening events, selling merchandise for only $20, and also keeping listeners intrigued and excited by still promising that 2 more albums are coming in the following months. While an artist like Usher tried to leverage the nostalgia of his old hits and the halftime show to try to make you believe that his new album was worth checking out, Ye was busy immersing listeners into a world that, whether you love or hate him, you cannot deny is more entertaining than anything else the music world is offering right now. We have never seen an artist the size of Kanye announce that they are releasing 3 albums in 3 months, or put their merchandise that once costed a fortune down to the low price of $20, and in a time where a lot of music is getting boring and fans feel like they are being scammed by artists because of crazy ticket and merch prices, it shouldn't even be a surprise why Ye is so successful right now. While some are trying to theorize how Kanye can be so successful at this point in his career, at the end of the day, the unprecedented defeat he has given to the music industry is simply a product of him pushing his career forward in a way that may not be as groundbreaking as it was before, but is still more exciting and rewarding for listeners than anything else is. So overall, as Kanye stands this week as the man who defeated the music industry, and labels try to do damage control over everything that occurred after the independent release of Vultures 1, what Ye pulled off should be very eye-opening to not just fans and the industry, but most importantly artists themselves, as no matter if you are just starting out or you're one of the biggest superstars in the world, there's something possibly career-changing that you can learn from what Ye just did. Now, while smaller artists don't have the budget or fan base to pull off what Kanye has done on the scale that he did, what everyone should be taking away is that between the consistent self-promotion on social media and also the live events, no matter what your size is, it's clear that we are in an era where you don't need to perform at the most televised event of all time to be successful, and all you need to do is cater to the people who already have some sort of interest in you and build hype through the direct networks that you control yourself. Artists have the ability to become bona fide stars and pass through all of the noise in the industry that is blocking them just by marketing their talent through their own social media pages, and I don't think people are utilizing this in a way that is as powerful as it could be. Now, also building on this, for the biggest artist in the world, after seeing Kanye pull off what he did, I think while many won't admit it yet, a lot of people in the industry are definitely thinking about all of the chances for further career growth and, more importantly, ownership of their own music that they would have if they were independent. I mean, for many artists near and on the level of Kanye popularity-wise, there is really no purpose in having all of the forces in the music industry taking pieces away from the pie you make, and I think in the future, we may see some other massive artists follow in Kanye's footsteps for this reason. So overall right now, whether you are Kanye West's biggest fan or his biggest hater, he has taken a massive victory over the music industry, and during the next few months as Ye rolls out and releases Vultures 2 and 3, it'll be even more interesting to see if he can continue to set new precedents, or if the industry will find a way to take back the control that he is pulling away from them. Now, as we begin to see the rollout for Vultures 2, while many people still think that Kanye is going to end up not completing this promised series, I think it's more likely than ever that Kanye won't just drop these albums, but that they will release as close to on time as a Kanye project physically can. The whole way Kanye will be able to flourish as an independent artist and really set a new precedent in the music industry relies on him building a strong catalog of music that he fully owns, and with 3 albums worth of sought-after material that is getting a ton of streams. he will have the perfect weapon against the industry. Now, with the potential rewards that Kanye will be able to reap from new music releases now, I wouldn't be too surprised that even after the Vultures trilogy, we see him start to prep for other new music releases like his upcoming rumored solo album Y3 or some other new endeavors. So overall, while Kanye is treading uncharted territory in the music world as he takes on the industry in ways that we have never seen from a superstar before, this battle taking place is playing a pivotal role in the future of the industry, as it is going to show artists once and for all what their worth is and what the true value of being independent can be. Now, if you can't wait to find out what will happen going forward, subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and if you want to see my ranking of every single Kanye record so far from worst to best, check out the suggested video.